Good afternoon, boys and girls. I have my voice back, which means you are all in trouble. Thank you for another edition of. Thank you for another edition.
Thank you for another edition. You're ending it already, huh?
How much have you had to drink today?
Let's rewind. Let's start it over. Wait. No, Chad.
Welcome to another edition of Neighborhood Spotlights. We are once again highlighting the Mr. Bucks County competition, which is evolving into one hell of a Super Bowl event, I'll tell you. And I mean financially, folks. I mean, maybe by the time we're done, we can afford a 2-second commercial at the Super Bowl.
Both financially and mentally. Let's talk about it. Okay. So
you know what? Kudos to you, Gina, because I know that at this point you're just dragging Mark and I along. Like I could tell. You're just like
I don't know
every day. Gina's coming at it strong in the text, and Mark and I are like, "Oh, here we go again."
We're gonna quick back one of these. Yep.
When I have something in front of me, like I just got to get it done. If I don't get it done now, it'll never get done. So, and I'm usually a procrastinator, but we're in a time crunch here, so I gotta hit it.
And actually, I want to spotlight you for 1 second, Gina. So, a fun fact that people don't know, right? And you don't even know I was going to ask this. Mark didn't know. That's the fun part about this show.
Oh, no.
And part of the reason for the success outside of your boutique,
PG.
No, it is PJ. You were the former CFO for the Philadelphia Soul, right?
Yes, I was. That is
so
correct.
I want people to know that about you and tell them about what you did and your experience, because this, like, compared to what you did, is probably peanuts.
Has nothing to do with what I did.
Well, whatever. But I'm saying you ran a whole football team.
Yeah.
You know,
Okay. Let's get something straight. I started there as the team accountant, and I worked my way up to CFO. I did manage the salary cap, literally managed it, which is a lot of fun. You don't realize what goes into that. I was one of actually the only female CFO in the entire league, which was kind of amazing. I worked for Bon Jovi. Doesn't get any better than that.
That's cool.
But the problem was I was 24 years old, and I was 24, 25, like right around there, and didn't get much respect because of my age. It was crazy. So I had to make my own way. So I had to part ways with the Soul, and went to work for an even better company, Mitchell and Ness. So
you did.
So that started my
benefits of that. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, that started my retail background, and
so let's go back to the Soul. When you left the Soul, did you leave Bon Jovi, or my cousin Cosmo bought off of Bon Jovi? Who was it? Who did you when you actually left the position? Who either fired you, or who did you step away from?
I walked away because of my age, and they wouldn't pay me what I was worth. I was like, sorry guys, I'm going somewhere else. So I knew what I was worth.
You were pissed off. You were taking care of the salary cap. You're probably giving money away to the players. Like, screw you.
But that's the only thing. Like, when you work there, because it's such a small organization, you wear multiple hats. So I was also the senior manager of game day operations. So I was running the show on the field when there was
like I said, let me start again. Let's replay that, Jason. This is peanuts compared to what you used to do. That's exactly what I said.
This is true.
Let's just keep doing this, so she just keeps running with the event.
Any other way.
Her up. This is easy for you, Gina. Don't worry about it. You can do whatever you want. You were a CFO at age 24, my friend. So.
Listen, I said to my husband last night, he's like, why are you so stressed out about this? I'm like, because it's a reflection of me and Mark and Chad, and I can't let these guys down. I have to make sure this is a top-notch event. So I put my heart and soul into it.
Well, you're doing an amazing job. And ladies and gentlemen, I'm not ending life. This is not, I feel like this is the movie Ghost. Something's going to come get me soon. This side, right? Like, this is crazy. This drives me crazy, but my apologies. I'll make sure I get a curtain.
It'd be cool to end the show like that, though, if you walked off.
It just kind of sneaks over.
So, all right, let's get serious. Let's talk about our guest, Chad. Who's going to do the introduction? Gina, I think you know our guest a bit more, so you may want to do the introduction.
Wait, we're going to do our update now, or we're going to do the update when he's there?
I think we should do the update while he's here, because he obviously is a big part of this update, right? Okay. So we want to talk about our numbers and so on. So, Gina, you take the floor. Let's introduce our guest and let's see what's going on.
Okay, so Chris Munz is our guest today. He is just one of these guys that you just see on Facebook, and he's electric when you see him. He's always got great posts. We actually became Facebook friends before we actually met in person. Okay. And when I reached out to him to ask him if he would be part of this, he was in immediately. And we immediately hit it off, and I'd say we're friends now. So here he is, Chris Munz, owner of Munz Construction.
Say that. Thank you very much. This is it's been awesome. And everybody, I feel like every time I meet people that Gina introduced me to, you become friends and find out you know more and more people. We were just talking today. The network is impressive, to say the least.
Yeah, sure. We were saying that we should have a networking event.
Yeah,
just for people to find out who knows whom and how we're all connected, because we're all connected somehow.
Absolutely. So, and you know, and that's a great point, right? So we always talk about these networking events, and there's some great groups like these BNI groups, but I feel like at the end of the day, you end up paying for that franchise. It costs a lot of money. Chad, you're a part of a BNI group. All these things cost money. I always tell, I tell my agents, I've met with a group of our agents in my Jersey office, and I'm like, let's just get together. Who brings donuts, who brings coffee? Let's get together. Let's talk about what we do. And ultimately, we're all doing the same thing. We're all in a service-oriented business, and there's no reason we can't help each other out. So I'm for it. When you guys are ready, let's do it. Chad's making the Robert De Niro face again.
That's good. That's good.
Okay, so that means he approves. When Chad makes that face, Chris, it means
it's a good thing.
It means
I think also it's really it's a small town. So and I think that the more I was just Gina, when we left your place, we went to at the South little little store there for lunch.
State Street Kitchen.
Yeah, unbelievable. I mean, she was a sweetheart. I told my wife, I'm like, I think I'm going to go there every day now. Like that is just, and I think we need to get back to that. That kind of, I think everybody's so busy. We need to slow the ride down a little bit and just kind of chill and try to get back to, this, which, and a lot of times, the way to do it, like for instance, soul, I didn't know that was like, that's fascinating. I didn't know that. I could listen to that. I could have listened all day about your
Chris, you like that one? That's what they call pulling it out of the woodwork.
Yeah, I tell you what, that was impressive. I was like, and then the Bon Jovi, and I think there's some backstories there that we could get to.
There's interesting stories there.
Yeah.
She actually modeled her hair, her current hairstyle. It's awesome.
I'll tell you what, I used to wear my hair really like curly, and I would call it my Jersey hair. And every time he was in the office, I made sure I had my Jersey hair on.
Did you have a song that mentioned Gina? Was that you?
Yeah. No, it was not me.
It was
way before. I was like 7 when that song came out.
Weren't you working the diner all day at that point? Didn't Gina work the diner all day?
Yes, and she was with Tommy.
That was good, Mark.
Friend. So
Mark, that was a good reference.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
That's great.
All kidding aside, the calendar features some Bon Jovi memorabilia. We're not going to get too deep.
Nice.
Gina was, she brought some stuff and we incorporated it into one of our shoots, and I'm excited to see it. So, let's talk about this crazy event that is now blown up into something that's pretty spectacular. Do we want to talk numbers yet, Gina, as to where we're at, or do you want to just dig a little bit deeper and find out?
Let's hold off until the end.
You know what, Jason? I have an assignment for Jason.
Yeah.
We got to make a segment now that has like the money. You know what I'm saying? Like we got to do that when it pulls up.
Yeah.
And like some sound effects or something.
We get like dollar signs all over the screen.
Yeah, I think so. All right. Well, then if we're not doing that, let's break into Chris. What do you think of that?
Let's talk Munz Construction.
All right.
First of all, how's business, Chris? How are things going?
Good. I mean, we're steady. We're busy. We do everything. So, I mean, one of the advantages we have when say, if kitchens are a little slow, then maybe additions are up. It seems like as we go through the different, between the pandemic and the economy and everything else, now I'm finding more and more people are working from home. So it seems like getting a lot of offices, people in offices, in-law suites. A lot of people are, starting, I think families, are deciding, they're going to combine and move together. So that's big. And a lot of outside living, patio covers and things like that. So good. I got no complaints.
So you legitimately do it all then, if that's the case. So I didn't realize that. When I hear the name Munz, and listen, I live right here in Langhorne around the corner from the office, and we see your signs up every day, and I knew you do. I mean, that's one thing about your construction company. word travels quickly in our lines of in what we do, and I've never heard anything negative said about you, Chris. And that's I mean that.
You can call my wife if you want.
Yeah, well, that's a whole different story. But that being said, I know you put out a good product, but I always thought of Munz Construction as, hey, if you want to put an addition on, if you want to have a new build, I never thought of a bathroom remodel or maybe a smaller job. So you really do it all. You cover the gamut.
Yeah, and interestingly, at least to me, we started. I started when I was 19, so almost 40 years ago. And when I started, it was just roofing and siding. And interestingly enough, people kind of wouldn't hire for the bigger stuff. I started getting into the bigger stuff, and it's kind of turned where I feel like a lot of people don't call us for the roofing and siding. So we separated that and kind of branded it out, and separate logo. I have a partner, 2 partners in that business, and kind of trying to split it so that people will still call us, because we'll always do roofing and siding and windows, but it's kind of 2 segments. We also have a showroom in Warminster, where people can go and pick out everything. I have a phenomenal team. I tell everybody, the smartest thing I ever did was hire people better than me. And it's not being humble. It's true. I mean, everybody stays in their lane.
That's like we did that with Gina, Chris. We had this idea. We're like, Gina, we're gonna create this idea. Mark was flexing in the street and started referring to himself as Mr. Bucks County.
Nice.
And then all of a sudden,
somehow I didn't make the counter. Somehow they're like, yeah, get away.
It's an unbelievable idea. Whoever came up with it is.
It was Gina.
Yeah.
No, it was a team effort. It was a team effort.
Well, actually, do you want to know the real story? Even though, so originally I was omitted from the story. I'm going to just say that.
Oh my God, no, you weren't.
But I was randomly. I was randomly
not omitted. You were not omitted. So what happened was Mark and I, originally when I was on this podcast for the first time, they asked me if I wanted to eventually do a fashion show. And I said, no one's going to pay any money to come see one of my fashion shows. So and that was originally Chad's idea. And
we were getting dressed for the gala. And I said to you, hey, let's do an event, like a Man of Newtown event. And I called Mark.
So basically, it was all Chad's idea.
No, and I called Mark, and Mark came over from next door, and he's like, you know what? That's a good idea. And then that was it. That was pretty much
I don't remember that happening. I just know that once I met on the street right outside, and I said, I have an idea. Let's do it like Ocean City does a night in Venice. Yep. And then Mark said,
that. I remember.
You don't remember the Man of Newtown event thing that I mentioned.
Honestly, not
with your husband working for Fox Chase and me talking about all that. You don't remember that?
I honestly don't remember.
I actually do. I do vaguely remember that.
Thank you, Mark.
Remember that.
Chris,
in my defense, the calendar idea, I believe, was mine. And I think
the calendar idea was yours.
A little crazy. Who the heck's going to buy a calendar? And Chris, I went a little crazy at first. So I'm like, we can go to Tubby Olive and we can get one of the guys like drizzling olive on their chest. And they're like, no, nobody's buying that crap. So I said, okay, we'll make it PG and we'll make it fun. And then at that point, once we came up with the idea of the calendar and the fashion show, at that point, we handed it off to Gina and she ran with the rest of it. So,
go do it.
So it was a collaborative effort, but you're right. It is absolutely, it's unbelievable, the money that we've been raising, and people are getting behind this. So I'm looking forward to having this grow exponentially each year for sure.
No, I think, and is that your plan to do it year after year?
Absolutely,
yes.
Absolutely.
We invested in the domain name, Chris, so it better be the plan.
And my thought, Chris, is this year was, I mean, I don't say it was difficult to find contestants. At first, it was just a matter of us understanding what we're trying to do. Because if I come to you and I try to pitch the idea, if we don't understand it, it's a hard sell. But now that we know we have a track record, we see how much money we've raised so far, and we see what has happened, I think next year should be significantly easier. Not to mention the fact that we've laid the groundwork for just everything, the plan, right? And we can, to duplicate something is so much easier, right? It's like building a house. Once you have the plans versus trying to come up with that plan the first time. I think it should be easier next year, and I would hope to continue to grow this. So if he doesn't quit and decide to go work for somebody else.
Right. Yeah.
Chris, do you remember what you said to me when I asked you to be part of the calendar? Do you remember what your response to me was?
I think it was I love charity and I hate cancer.
It is. And then you also said to me, I'm more the what? I'm more the before than the after.
Oh yeah. When you tell me like, the modeling thing was like, I think I'd rather donate.
He was like, no, thank you.
Yeah.
So just so you know, Chris, today, after Gina and I finish this podcast, we're going to be going outside, rolling out the red carpet to try to figure out how you're going to walk, where you have to actually do your spin. So
Right.
you have some ideas. So I'm hoping you're looking forward to it, but it's going to be interesting to say the least.
Now and I know whenever I tell people, it's funny because immediately when I have to tell them, like, at first was I got to go on a photo shoot, they're like, you're kidding me. And my wife, of course, my wife's like, I got to see this,
And she was there. She was there supporting. Yes.
I learned how to throw a pizza, So,
yes. You learned how to toss a pizza.
I love the idea. I just love the idea. Everybody I've met from everywhere, everybody's been fantastic, and I'm looking forward to it. And like I said, I had no idea. I'm just like, I'm in, and it's been great.
Pretty cool.
Fantastic.
So back to Munz Construction. So obviously, we've seen your product. You do amazing work. We know you do the larger jobs, additions, new builds, everything else, and you do the smaller jobs as well. The challenge that I'm finding with any contractors that we use in my business, obviously I own a few real estate companies, so we deal with contractors every day. It's either quality of work or timeline. And it's never, I've never seen the exception. So if they do amazing work, they're booked up for 3 years in advance. If they're doing kind of not so good work, well, they'll call you tomorrow and they're ready to start the job because they're leveraging money from one job to the next. Mm-hmm. So realistically, I call you tomorrow and I need a kitchen or a bathroom done. How long before you come out for the appointment? How long before you get us in the books? And how long before you actually start swinging a hammer? Just for our guests so they have an idea.
It really, again, it depends because, there's variations. What you consider a kitchen or versus what somebody else. So it really depends.
Sure.
Typically, we try to get out there within 2 weeks.
Okay.
And then typically we'll work up a design. We usually will charge for the design and then we credit you back if we go ahead with the job. I encourage everybody to we were just talking about this, me and Gina. I encourage everybody to get at least 2 other estimates, right? I'm not afraid of that. Typically, we're going to be in the middle.
Yep.
If we go ahead, then we credit you back. And then I have 7 project managers. So depending on the schedule, we'll get you to the showroom. Depending on what you pick and exactly what we're doing, that'll be the lead time. But on average, usually starting like 4 to 5 months.
That's not bad. That's really not bad. Most people that are budgeting or refinancing, getting money in order and so on, that's really not too bad. So
it's relative, right? Because to me, honestly, as the owner, we have over 35 people here, and if you talk to any of them, I always say we're getting close. And anybody, we all have businesses. It seems like you're tweaking and you're tweaking, and it's like we're getting, and they're always like, I know we're getting close. And but what happens is it's true. If everybody kind of streamlines and we have the process and they stay in their lane and do their thing, then it works. Now, that being said, kitchens, out of everything we do, it's funny because I get people like, building houses. Building a house is relatively easy because you're starting with a blank canvas.
Yep.
The kitchen is the nerve center and everybody. So and we're dealing with, in a lot of cases, the lead times, supply chain, inspections, different issues. And you have basically people living there, not basically, in most cases, they're living there through this. And it's always longer than they want, longer than we want. So but typically when you get done, like anything, I have to look back like, all right, I'm glad it's over, but it's worth it, but it's not easy.
That's pretty cool. So Chad, you're quiet today. Are you okay?
Wow.
Oh yeah. I'm trying to let you take the thing. I put his link up in the conversation. I put the link up to some before and afters, figuring we could do a visual display of some.
I would love to
Chris's
see some of this work here.
Yeah. Figured, why not? We're live here. Maybe we can take a look at some of these.
Yeah, let's talk about the project. So what was this here? It looks like we did an addition on this here.
Yeah, that's a dormer off the back.
Okay. Is this a Levittown home or where was this?
Yeah, that's actually in Yardley.
In Yardley, okay. Very nice.
Yeah.
There's some other ones in there that were kind of cool. What?
That one's hard. Most people don't believe that is.
What? Look at that.
If you see the window, that's like how you can really tell. The window is the bay window or bow window is kind of the same. But that's
crazy.
Yeah, a lot of what we do are these, say, a lot of people that if they can visualize, but when you do something like this, you got to figure you're going to stay. I mean, in the real estate, business, if you're going to do something like that, then you make the investment. You got to figure you're going to stay there a while.
Absolutely.
That looks like it looks like you built like a brand new house there. It doesn't even look like anything here.
Yeah, that one.
Did they like quadruple their square footage?
It at least more than doubled. Yeah. And again, that's where I think most people are like, but if you like where you live,
sure.
And it's funny because my realtor friends are always the don't move, improve. They hate it, and I'm always like, well, I can switch it to move and improve. That's
right.
There's an in-law suite on the side. That's what I was telling you before. A lot of people are starting to, and it used to be we would do in-law suites when people were in failing health, but now I think they're younger, and I think they're smart in the fact that they are, realizing they could, move in, combine,
sure.
But and they're still young enough to enjoy. They can kind of leave, hang out with the grandkids. So it makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, Chris, what areas do you service anyway? Mainly Bucks County. Do you travel outside of that footprint?
We do some in Princeton.
Wow, that's incredible.
Yeah, that one.
That's magnificent.
That's another one. When the architect was talking about, I'm very symmetrical. Like that's just how I'm wired.
That did not work with you, right?
And his idea was, I'm going to picture on doing it heavy on the left side, and it's going to be. And I'm like, I don't know, but when it got done, just like a lot of things, like for instance, Gina, this gold lame tux, she tells me I'm going to look good in it.
Wait a second. Chad wore your tux.
Oh yeah.
I like that tux.
Chad wore that tux and loved it.
I got a lot of compliments.
I need a lot of help. Her and my wife got big plans for me when it comes to that's a whole separate. Apparently I'm good at the improving homes, but not myself so much.
Leave it to the professionals.
Yes, exactly.
All right, wait. I'm gonna guess front porch.
No, that's a whole second floor. You can see the corner, the before.
I can't see. That's super small. Jason, blow that up. I can't see that. What's that? I can't see that.
Oh my gosh! You need to get a little closer to the screen.
Yeah. Oh wow! Yeah, that is That's crazy.
Yeah,
that is so cool.
Amazing.
That's awesome.
Amazing.
Very cool.
And where was this? Was this Yardley as well?
That's in Churchville.
Oh, cool. Okay.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Yeah, you do beautiful work. You do very beautiful work. So yeah, we were talking today about Chris coming in and finishing my basement.
Oh,
and
nice.
if my husband's watching this is all news to him.
Yeah. Nice.
But you have to sign the contract to get Chris to do this, to do the show and the fashion show. Now you have to use him for your basement, by the way.
That's awesome.
Wow, look at that.
Home here.
That is awesome. Very cool.
That was adding a bedroom. A lot of people, and I think more and more, it's interesting, and we seem to even when real estate is good and people are selling a lot, then people, how it is, they buy and now they want to redo what they just bought. So
sure,
I always tell people, because they were like, I guess you'd rather people stay than move. I said, I'm good anyway, and I enjoy doing everything. Like I try not to get pigeonholed, or we try not to get pigeonholed into but it's big into design and finish. But that's an in-law suite there.
Oh, look how cool that is. So Chris, let me ask you, do you miss swinging a hammer?
No.
I'm assuming you're out estimating jobs and doing that, or the tails end of it.
I honestly learned at an early age these weren't gonna, they weren't
not gonna cut it.
No, and again that goes back to the point. Like I have people, they just want to, guys and girls, they just want to come and do that part. They just want to put the tools, work with the tools, go home, relax with the family, and not and. It takes all kinds, but I can't do it without them. They can't do it, hopefully, without me.
Right.
Like anything, you guys know, it's a team. I mean, as much as we're joking around here, one of you just can't do this. You know,
Absolutely.
I can tell what's going on.
Gina can.
Well,
Gina can.
Oh.
that goes without saying. You know, the soul thing that just blew me away. I just Mitchell and Ness, the soul,
That's right. You never know what you're going to get with me.
no. I'm like,
So true. So true.
apparently she golfs. She's a scratch golfer, from what I understand.
No, not scratch. Not scratch at all.
You used to coach tennis as well. You coach tennis too, didn't you?
No, I don't coach. I play. I play tennis.
You play tennis. You play tennis.
Yes. Yeah. I just like to keep busy. You got to keep moving.
I hear you. I hear you. Well, then stop pitching at us then if you'd like to keep moving. I'm kidding. All right, so listen, let's talk numbers because it's already 3:00.
Yeah.
We got to wrap
Okay.
this up. I know Chris has got his phone's been ringing off the hook. We got to get next.
He just missed 2 big deals.
I
by
know, that's all right.
Tuesday.
Okay. I'm going to go to work with Gina. That's fine.
There you go.
Do we have a drum roll or something leading up to like music or anything from Jason?
That's what I said to
We're
you.
that sophisticated here at Neighborhood Spotlight.
Okay, all right.
You
So
want me to do it? Ready? Money.
So right now we're at $21,500 donated.
That's unreal.
$5,000. Five from last
No, that is not upbeat at all, Jason. That is some boring ass elevator.
Yeah.
stuff.
It is, but the 21K.
Yeah.
Let me ask this: do we at this point are we the Beastie Boys? So do we at this point are we dark? Do we know what everyone has contributed?
Yeah,
Is that
so,
still
okay.
up?
So yesterday we disconnected the ability for any contestant to see what anyone else is raising. As a matter of fact, they can't even see what they've raised. If anyone needs to know, they need to contact one of us to figure it out. But no one knows. So it's on now.
I have to be honest. I've been talking to some contestants. I had one that stopped by the office yesterday, and some people it's all about strategy, right? I have people that said they were waiting until we go dark and they're going to start ramping it up. I've had other people say that they want to make everyone jealous and get all their money in it up front. So I'm excited to see what happens, but there's no doubt in my mind that we're going to at least double where we are right now.
So it's slowed down a bit, obviously, from last. It was like everybody came out of the gate and they just took off.
Yeah. And
now it's kind of like, balancing out a little bit. But I think as we get closer to the date, the number's just going to ramp up, which is what we're depending on. I mean, I know guys who are going above and beyond. I mean, having marketing materials printed and posters in restaurants. And I mean, it really is going to take something to win this because, there's certain people who.
I can't wait to see the calendars.
I was saying the best part is the calendars aren't even here yet. So we'll have the calendars. I have 250 of them being delivered to the office in about 2 weeks.
They should be by the end of next week.
Oh, awesome.
Nice.
So we'll be distributing them. We'll be selling them $20 a piece. Anybody wants a calendar, come and get them. So yeah, I'm excited. I can't wait. I'm going to buy about a dozen calendars just to make fun of my brother.
Stocking stuffers this year.
It'll be, what do they call that? The purple elephant, or not the purple elephant, the one that when you recycle the gag gifts. Yeah, whatever that is. So
Chris, you should do that. You should definitely get them for the next gag gift.
Well, 35 is sold. Chris has 35 employees. There's 35 sold right there. No Christmas bonus at Munz Construction this year. You get a calendar.
I like it. Thanks for the idea.
Yeah, there you go. Chad, we got to wrap this up, man. It's after 3:00 and we got some work to get done.
No, technically we're still under 30 minutes, so more power to us.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we're at 28:48. So
okay, good. So we're still good.
I want to thank Chris Munz from Munz Construction. And remember, he does roofing and siding as well. Okay, do not forget that, everybody. And to my wonderful co-hosts, it's always a privilege and a pleasure. I'm so happy to be back here with you. Who do we have next week, Gina? We have Nick O'Hay.
And I'm not sure who the other person is. Do we have anyone else, Mark?
That's a fantastic question. I'm going to be in Munich, so I'm hoping to broadcast live from
Munich.
No way.
If you'd like,
Joe's going around the world.
my brother will be with me. We can have him on if you'd like. I mean, listen, if we're 2:30, 8:30 in Munich, I can't talk about my sobriety. We'll see what happens. I don't know what I'll be drinking, but we can absolutely jump on. I can have my brother on, and we'll have Nick O'Hay, and we'll have some beers at Oktoberfest with you guys. That'd be great.
Oh,
is your brother going to be in Munich with you?
Absolutely.
Okay. All right.
There we go. Even what month, Joe?
He's January.
Mr. January, live in Munich, Germany. Eating that. Oh, never mind. Okay. And with that, everyone, I wish you a wonderful afternoon. Thank you for watching another edition of Neighborhood Spotlights. MrBucksCounty.com is live is active, and you need to donate now. Everyone, have a good afternoon. Peace.
Light, I'm going to the light.